Right. So what I wanted to do today, or in this video, is bring to you a way to do questions 10 and 11 on your 2.4 homework in StatCrunch. I know we've talked about a couple StatCrunch steps, but we didn't go over the steps that you would take for this particular problem where we have this frequency distribution. Now, um, the first thing we want to do is plug in our midpoint for each of these class ranges. And so to find the midpoint, I'm going to add 15,000, the lower limit, plus 17,499, the upper limit, and then divide that by 2. That gives me 16,249.50. That frequency, they give you a table over here, is 10. Now I'll go to the next one. Now, to make this easier on yourself, instead of taking 17,500, adding it to 19,999, and then dividing by 2, you can see what is the width of each class. And in this case, the width is going to be 17,500. I'm taking the lower limit of the second row minus 15,000, and that's 2,500. So now all I need to do to find the rest of these midpoints is add 2,500 to that 16,249.50. So this gives me 18,749.50. Oops. And its frequency is 12. 20,000. That's going to give me 21,249.5. And that frequency is 14, and the frequencies are coming straight from the table. The next one is 23,749.50, and that frequency is 13. Now, on the 25,000 or more, you could add 2,500, but they usually will give you that value in the problem itself. And here it is, this 26,249.50. We're going to use that number that they gave us. And that frequency is 6. Oops. All right, I'm going to check the answer. Great. Now it asks us, what is the sample mean? Here's where StatCrunch comes into play, because you're not just going to get the sample mean, you're also going to get the sample standard deviation. If you remember the sample standard deviation, we had to find the deviations, square them, sum them, divide them by n or n minus 1. So what we're going to do, let me grab my StatCrunch screen, is we're going to enter this information into StatCrunch. I guess I can. 1870.49.50, 21 249.50, 23 749.50, 26 249.50, and let's get the frequencies here. Oh, I started a little lower. Oh, I'm just going to go on here, 12, 10, 12, 14, 13, and 6. So what I'm going to go to is stat, summary stats, and then grouped bin data. Grouped bin data. So stat, summary stats, grouped bin data. The bins are in var 1. My counts are in var 2, meaning variable 1 and variable 2. And I want the mean and I want the standard deviation and compute. So I get those two metrics. So my mean is 20,931 and 32 cents. 29 to 20,931 and 32 cents. Check the answer. Great. And then the sample standard deviation is 3,193 and 40 cents. Check the answer, and that is question 10. Moving right along to question 11. We have this time, it's asking us for frequencies. We're still going to have to find the middle of each class, but they're first asking us for the frequency. So let's enter those in. From 0 to 4 is 4, then 9, 26, 19, 17, 12, and 4. Then check your answer. That comes straight from the table, the pie chart. Now it's asking you for the sample mean, and it's going to ask you for the sample standard deviation. So we'll go back to StatCrunch. I'm just going to use var 4 and var 5. And so my class in this one, you can still do 0 plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So your first midpoint of a class is 2. Another way you could do that, if I take my 5 fingers, I got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That middlemost finger is 2. So that is my middle of the class. So that's 2. And my class width is 5 because 0 to 5 is 5. Okay. So I can just then add 5 each time I go down my midpoints. So 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, 27. And then they told us the midpoint for 30 plus is going to be 32. So I'll put 32 there. Now I'll just enter in my frequencies. And then summary stats, grouped bin data. Bins are in var 4 this time. My frequencies are in var 5. And I just want the mean and the standard deviation. Here we go. So my mean is, and we're rounded to the nearest 10th. So 16.8. And my sample standard deviation is going to be 7.4. And that is how you will do questions 10 and 11 from homework 2.4.